welcome to WTF with Wendy. I am business coach Wendy Lawson. This is where I get into your head every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And today we're talking about the myth of multitasking. So that is what we are talking about today. Hey, Michelle girl. I see I got my besties here, right? My favorites show up right on time as they always do. I'm so glad you guys are here. My replay friends, thanks for stopping by. I am all kinds of hyper-focused on productivity, and I don't like to say time management because y'all, we can't manage time. It just does its thing. But really all these little things, right? All these little processes and these things that we do, the habits that we build that are related to how we spend our time, because the number one challenge that we have, I will fight you over this, okay, is we set a goal, we know what we want, we have like big picture plan, but if we do not use our time wisely, if we're not productive, if we're not having task management and using really good prioritization, we ain't never going to get there. That will stop us faster than anything else. And so I want to talk about that a lot because it's on my mind a lot because it's strangling people's progress a lot, and that's no good. So today I want to talk about multitasking and the myth of multitasking. Now, a lot of people think that they can multitask. They think that multitasking is a good thing. And it's not, okay? It's not. We think it's, it's a necessary part of life. How else do I get through all the things I got to do if I'm not doing multiple things at once? And the truth is, right, there's only two ways that you can honestly be multitasking. And that means accomplishing more than one task at the same time, okay? That is if one of the tasks is second nature. So can you chew gum and walk at the same time? Yes, because both of those are pretty much second nature, right? If one is so ingrained and so well learned and it doesn't really require any thought, then yeah, you can complete that task while you're doing something else. The other time that we can truly multitask is when we're using different brain processes, okay? So if you're reading a book, let's say you're reading a book, you can listen to classical music at the same time, because now you can't listen to music that has vocals, words, right? You can't have a singer saying any words, because the minute that there's language involved in the music that you're listening to, now you have two competing tasks that are both activating the same portion of your brain, okay? So if you have the same center of your brain, the same portion of your brain is trying to do two tasks at once, it can't. Your brain literally can't process more than one task in that, like in the language center at the same time. So let's say right now, if you are listening to me jibber jabber about the multitasking myth, okay, and you're washing the dishes in your kitchen, you can multitask there. But if you're listening to me and you're also trying to send an email, if you're listening to me and you're also trying to send a message to someone, a private message, right? You're listening, I'm talking words, language, your brain will not let you do any other language-based activity at the same time. So what we think as multitasking, right, where you're listening to me and you're also scrolling your newsfeed, or you're listening to a book, an audio book while you're doing your work, what you're really doing is you're task switching, okay? You're switching tasks, and you've become a serial task switcher, right? You're got all these tasks going on, but they're not going on at the same time. You're switching back and forth. So imagine if your brain is playing red light, green light, okay? So I'm focused on this one task. I'm writing an email. I'm focused on this. So I have a green light. I'm going on that. But then the audiobook I'm listening to, something pops up and I'm like, what'd she say? Okay. Red light on the email, green light over here. Now, here's the problem. We think, okay, Wendy, well, that's fine. That's just how it is. Here's the problem. It's not seamless. It's not seamless. So what happens is I'm writing the email, focused on the email, I'm listening to the audiobook, she says something, my brain switches from here, and I go over to this, what I was just listening, but it's not seamless. It takes me a second to catch up. And then what do? Then I rewind. What'd she say? Right? I push the back button so I can listen to what she said again. There's a lag between every time we switch tasks. So here's, y'all, science, okay? Research has shown that it takes up to 40% more time when we're constantly switching tasks, when we're playing red light, green light. So if you're watching me right now and you're trying to write an email, you're trying to write a private message, what's happening is it's going to take you 40% longer to do that task because you weren't singularly focused on the one thing. Okay. Now you think, all right, well, so I lost a little bit of time. It's okay. Y'all, 40%, and it takes up. Imagine if you've got multiple tabs on your window right now and you're tabbing back and forth between them multiple times, and it's taking you 40% longer each time, you are eating up so much of your day and so much of your mental energy on that you can never get back. Okay. You can never get back. Now, here's the really worst part. There was this study from Stanford University, and it showed people who thought that they were really good at multitasking. So the people who say like, oh yeah, I can multitask all day, I'm great at that, right? The people who thought they were good at it were actually worse. The people who said, no, I'm not really good at multitasking, I prefer single focus, when they're forced to multitask or task switch, their work has fewer mistakes. It has fewer problems. They're actually better at it. So if you say, oh yeah, I crush it at multitasking, the science shows you're probably doing sloppier work. There's probably more mistakes than if you said, I'm not good at it, so I don't do it. Okay. Now, I want to talk about one other thing with multitasking, because this is really, really important. And this is sort of talking about the quality of your work. There was a study at the University of London that found when people who are multitasking during cognitive tasks, things that are requiring their brain, okay, I'm not talking about washing the dishes or walking and chewing gum, but cognitive tasks, okay, they experienced an IQ score drop, similar to what would be expected if they just smoked pot or if they stayed up all night and didn't get any sleep, okay? 15 points or more. So just by multitasking. So what that means is if you're trying to listen to me and send that email right now, there's a good chance that that email that you send out is going to sound like you were high, right? It's not going to sound like you were high, but the quality of the work is the equivalent of someone who smoked marijuana, smoking that wacky tobacco, or stayed up all night. And they said that the multitasking men lowered their scores to an average range of an 8-year-old, okay, of an 8-year-old child. So if you're trying to do two things at once, that's what happens is the work product, the output drops significantly. So it's reducing your efficiency, it's reducing your performance, and there are studies, and they're not conclusive and it's not complete, but that show that it could potentially be leading to damaging your brain, right? This constant task switching is so bad for our brain. And so when we think about, you're like, okay, Wendy, all right, I get it. Oops, where'd you guys go? I get it. I shouldn't be trying to do multiple things at one time. I should have singular focus. Okay, fine, I get it. But you guys, it's not as simple as saying, okay, I'm only going to work for the next hour. I'm only going to write this blog post, or for the next 20 minutes, I'm only going to do this coaching session, right? Think about with your day, how many times when you're on your computer, you're sitting there on the Google Chrome right now, you're on Google Chrome, you're on Facebook, you're looking at me, and all of a sudden you get a notification that pops up and says, oh, Gina liked your post. And you're like, oh, let me go see what Gina had to say about my post. That's task switching, right? Or if you're like Pavlov's dogs, where every time you get a notification, it's that slot machine that you're like, oh, gotta go see what that is, right? You're task switching. So you're 40% less of Oh, Michelle, you can't watch Netflix while you work, girl. Can't do it. You can't do it. If they're talking language, right? That's activating the language center of your brain, which means you're not giving 100% to any language that you're trying to use anywhere else. So, y'all, say no to multitasking. Say no to multitasking. I will tell you, when I am working, I don't have Facebook open. I don't have Facebook. I have designated times when I go check my email. I have designated times when I go get on Facebook. It's not open otherwise because it's possible it'll be that, you get that emotional, like the slot machine of good feelings of, ooh, someone responded to my post. Ooh, someone did this. Ooh, FOMO. What am I missing? Right? Gina girl, you got to stop those notifications. I got to tell you, I have almost all notifications turned off on Facebook. So whichever once in a while is a bad thing. I missed something. But I don't get that. Like I must stop what I'm doing right now to go look at what I'm, Michelle, I'll have to look at what I'm, go see what I'm missing. Oh, Michelle, now I know why it takes you so long to do things. Yes, ma'am. That is exactly why. So, think about this. Think about if you are struggling with trying to get stuff done, right? We all struggle with trying to get stuff done. But if you're struggling with trying to get stuff done, really look at how much are you, I'm not going to say multitasking because for the most part, it doesn't exist, right? There's not a whole lot in our business that we could be doing that is so well learned. We don't have to think about it, right? You're at least thinking when you're sending an email or processing an order, doing whatever it is that you're doing. There's some part of your brain that is thinking about it and is actively engaged on it. So you can't be doing two things at once. So really think about the way and look at your day, look at the way that you can get yourself to where your singular focus, right? One task. I'm focused on this. I don't have Facebook open. I don't have email open. I don't have all these other, even if you're working on Google Chrome, don't have 47 tabs open, right? Then you just like tab through all the different tabs and see, ooh, what's going on over here? What do I have open right now? Ooh, I could go back to this task, right? Single focus. All right, you guys. Hey, no more multitasking. Say no to multitasking. You guys know that I love you madly, and I will be back here tomorrow. I'm probably going to be a little late. I haven't scheduled it yet because I have a doctor's appointment, and so I might be a little late tomorrow. Maybe we'll schedule it for like 12:30 instead of 12 o'clock. All right. Have a great day, guys. Love you madly. Bye.